Hey people, Holden Miller, Flash Raven here. I've had a couple people asking me about my Lucci list. I've been using locals and just what I think a good starting point would be in EB. And never really done one of these, so forgive me if I stutter and whatnot. But I figured I'd just make a quick video because why not? Um, so on the list, as you can see on the screen, as you can see, we have 46 out of 51 cards. So this is what I personally consider to be core right now. Obviously, you can disagree, do whatever you want. It's just my list. I would not change any of these cards personally right now. Quick run through Spandine. Too strong to not play, and one is not enough in my opinion. Very greedy to play one. I think two is just the perfect number. Book. Pretty self-explanatory. Insane card. You play four. Laboon and Kuzan, I've seen a lot of people cut these a bit to like three and whatnot. I think you could maybe cut one, but I would not. I would just play four and four because they're both really strong, and you really want to see them on four. Um, like almost every game, no matter what you're against, you want to see one of these on four, preferably Kuzan, but this is like a backup, and just want to max those odds by playing eight total. Khalifa, CP, 2K. If you don't have these, it's probably still not even the right play on four anymore, but it's still worth it because it can just come up to filter your hand late game and it's more reduction. Um, Sabo, you could honestly play one to three of this card, but I think two is perfect. I think you do want to see it more often than just having one. In a lot of matchups, in Shanks, in GP, and you've already got a board control, just having a blocker is good. And then Mir, it's obviously insane. And then three, I don't think you need three. I think you can find room elsewhere. But if you want more, you have more, because there are technically, as I said, I think there are five total flex spots for you to do with what you want. A Manchuri, I would run at least two of this card. You could bump it up to four, to be honest, if you really wanted to. But this is just extra copies of mainly Rebecca, but whatever you need it to be, really, right? Um, and this is your strongest card, Rebecca. So obviously you play four. Lucci, you play four. Jack, I have always said if I'm playing Jack, I'm playing four of it because if I'm playing Jack, it's because it's really strong in the meta on seven right now, and I think that is the case right now. Really good in the me on seven. Um, Pretty really good against GP on seven. Doesn't mean you never have time to play it later, but playing it on seven is almost like game winning a lot of times. So I just play four because I want to see it on seven, and if you see extras, sometimes you'll have time to drop an extra, and that just seals the game. Or you can just filter it out with the first one you have, and it's fine. Husu, other 2K, so we're playing 8 total right now is the core. Played this over Kaku mainly because this deck does struggle to KO sometimes. So just having a backup option, as well as being able to pop a 4 drop, like in the mirror, popping the Kuzan on 4 with the Husu is really strong. And you kind of have to answer the Kuzan on 4, right? So just having a free way to do it. It costs a card, it's expensive, but it's if you follow with Jack on 7, it doesn't matter that you went down a card really most of the time. Hina, I think you need at least 3 of this. You could play more. I don't think I would play less. Again, if you're really greedy, go to 2. I would never go less than 2. But again, I think 3 is uh, a fine amount. And then 4 Tempest. It's Tempest Kick. Obviously, you play 4. And then we'll just go into what my current list looks like. So with those 5 flex spots, I added a third Manchuri, a fourth Hina, and 3 Uta. Again, these can be whatever you want. I like having a fourth Hina because having this card in your hand or in trash, having extra copies in your trash when you play one out on board for the next turn, you just want multiple of this card usually. So I think 4 Hina is honestly really strong right now. 3 Manchuri, again, I think if you could find room for 4 of this, it'd be fine. Technically you could, right? But I'm playing 3 Uta, mainly because this card is really strong if you see it on 2. But you don't have to see it on 2, to be honest. And the main reason I was decided to throw Uta back in, because I did take it out for a little bit, was because when you go first, it feels really bad to just like swing 8 on your 3 down turn. You want Brook most of the time, ideally, but if you have Uta or Brook, like one of the two, it's usually fine and enough. But when you don't see any, that's when it feels kind of awkward. So that's why I put Uta back in. Hina's like an okay 3-down play against some decks, but against a lot of decks, I wouldn't even play it on 3. I'd just save it for a reduction later. So we have 7 good targets to play on 3. I could see an argument to bump this up to 4, just to increase that, and bump one of these down to 7, because you technically have an extra turn for these to find the card. But the power level of these is just so much better. So I'll stick to 4 and 4 and just the 3 Uta. And then I do have quite a few different lists you could try. Ignore that Navy list. I don't like that at all. I tried it, didn't like it. This was a list I was trying with Sabo. It is just consistent 3-3-3-3. To be honest, I did change this. I forgot to do it here, I suppose. But I think if I were to play this Sabo card, I would probably only play 2, to be honest. Again, then you just have flex spots with whatever you want to do. I think what I was doing with my most recent Sabo list was like 2 Uta, I think. I haven't messed with the Sabo list in a while, but these are just options. Obviously, like I said, 5 total flex spots in my opinion. The 2 Uta, the 2 Sabo, the 3rd Manchi. So whatever you want to do with those, but I think the Sabo it's pretty decent. It's strong against GP sometimes. It can help you get back in the game, or it can help you like seal a game, but it can also just be like dead, to be quite frank, or it just doesn't ever feel like the right play. Because you are just developing one body. Granted, it's a big body that doesn't get stunned by Luna, which is the big plus side for it. But there's that. I think it's good against GP. It's okay in the mirror, but not ideal. It's honestly like it's okay against most decks, but not ideal against most decks. But then against GP, it's pretty good. I would also assume this is also, I think this would be pretty decent against Reiju as well, if that deck actually comes back into meta, because I think people are liking that deck a decent amount lately. And as you've seen with all these lists, I'm just not teching for Blackbeard. I hate the techs that you have to run. I think they're generally only good against Blackbeard. Tashigi's alright against other decks and has counter, but like generally, I'm gonna be honest personally, if I'm having a tech for Blackbeard, I'm just not gonna play the deck right now. I'll just play green purple Luffy or something else. But again, you have 5 flex spots, so if you want to tech for Blackbeard, you can use those 5 spots for that. It's totally up to you on that. This was that list. I have this list with Sengoku. I think Sengoku is a really good card. I think I should probably test and experiment with it a bit more. This list is actually like one of the highest ceilings, I think, out of all the lists. This card, if you already have like a board presence and you can do this just to like Sengoku Kuzan, just to steamroll, or like Sengoku Hina if you already have a brick or a jack on board, it can like seal away a game, and it has counter, so it's not even dead. But it's in my testing with it, it's felt more high roll than consistent. But I don't think it's bad, and I could see myself going back to this for sure. I also don't think you even have to play Kobe if you play this. Honestly, I think if I were to play this right now, I'd cut the 2nd Kobe for the 4th Hina. Because again, I hate Hina. I mean, I love Hina right now. And then the Borsellino, this gives you another Navy target that's a blocker to play off the Sengoku. And having a 4-drop blocker is actually really nice. So on 10, you can go Manchi or Becca, add the blocker, and you can play 2 blockers in one turn if you're in that kind of situation. So just having a 4-drop blocker that you can get back with the Becca is convenient a lot of the time. And for that same reason, I have this list. I have done very little testing with this list, to be honest. It was just like an idea. It's a 4-drop blocker, and it has counter, and then it plays the Manchi, basically, or the Toy Soldier. It's really its only targets. But it can basically just help set up the Manchi lock, which is a strong way to just close out the game against a lot of decks. Again, very little testing. I just like threw it together. It's, again, I don't know how strong it is. I don't think you even have to play this soldier for it. I think you could honestly just play your 3 Manchi as targets. You could do the 2 tour soldiers, or I'm thinking about doing the just 2 Uta for it. But I will say having 2 more 2Ks and then tour soldiers are actually more reduction than Uta, except of course they don't stick around. But generally that is not the end of the world, because at some point you usually get to a point where you're playing over your bodies anyway. So I've done very little testing with this list, but in the little bit of testing I've done, I'll say Frankie has not come up at all as being played, but honestly just these cards having counter has helped. Just to be honest, over the standard list. Because it is cutting 3 bricks for 2 2Ks and a 1K. But this is just an idea. Figured I'd throw it in there because why not? But that is pretty much it. So this is the one I've been doing that I played with in my most recent locals video. I've had a good amount of success with it. Don't know. Actually, it wouldn't show anyway. But yeah, I climbed to the top of the ladder right now, basically playing this in GP. I just go back and forth based on which one I feel like playing, to be honest. But it's a really strong deck right now. Again, its auto losses are what they've always been: Teach, Nami, Usopp. Every other deck, Reiju is hard. I wouldn't say Reiju is an auto loss though, but it is hard. It's unfavored. But every other deck, honestly, I'd say 50-50 are favored. And I'd say most of them probably favored. As long as you can dodge Teach, Nami, Teach, and the Nami mains, because they main Nami, they'll keep playing it. I'd say it's a strong choice. As far as if I'm gonna play it, I don't know. Teach is still around, and personally, I don't want to play a deck with an auto loss when I enjoy a deck that doesn't have one. So I will probably just be playing green purple, but who knows? I might go back to Lucci. We'll see. See how the meta develops and everything. But yeah, just a quick little video on my thoughts for Lucci and EB in each card. Again, 5 flex spots in my opinion. This is what I would consider the core to be. Do with that as you will. Appreciate y'all watching. Have a nice day.